Welcome back to Trent Takes On. I've got to start out this fine. This is going to be a short episode. This fine episode, I got to start out with an apology. Hey, last week I was trying out some new gear and it did not work. And the audio quality was pretty crap. So I don't know. Am I just going to throw all caution to the wind and just F-bomb away here? I might as well, to be honest. Like, who am I fucking trying to impress anyway? Yeah, it was bad equipment. It just didn't work out. It was something new. I tried something new first time back. Instead of like taking a test run and playing around with it, I was like, I gotta be honest. I'm having problems right now with being okay with not being okay. Now, let me explain that. I want to perfect the things that I work on. Like if it's a painting or a carpentry project or a repair job I'm doing on something around the house, I'm trying to do it, perfectly. And I'm allowing the good to be the enemy of the perfect, or whatever that phrase is, whatever. I'm not allowing good enough to be good enough. And I need to let go of that. I need to remember that I'm an imperfect person. I have lived an imperfect life. And all I'm trying to do at this point is be better. Just be better and take that as a dub. Take that as a win. Now, with that being said, Trent Takes On is back. I don't know for how long. I don't know what kind of format I'm going to have. I'm not building a plan here. I'm just kind of, as usual, winging it. You know what I mean? And so kind of like each time I sit down, I just want to tackle maybe one thing if I can. And if I can tackle one thing, I think that's going to be enough. Just one simple thing, and try to keep it reasonably short. People used to love, like I got a buddy, my buddy Jake, loves a podcast that's at least a half an hour long. If it's not half an hour long, he gets a little antsy. Now, when you're podcasting by yourself, doing a half an hour of material is really, really difficult. And by the time you finish editing it, you're kind of sick of the sound of your own voice. And you're like, why am I doing this? You start questioning all of it. So I'm just going to say, Jake, I'm sorry in advance. I know that you're a good friend and you'll probably listen to this. And I appreciate that. And I'm sorry it's not longer. But you know what? We got to be a little bit more succinct. People got things they got to do. They got shit to do. And they don't have a half an hour of their time to listen to me drone on. So what do I want to talk about this week? This time out, a week. I don't even know how many of these I'm going to do. The last thing that I talked about on Trent Takes On before this podcast went on sabbatical for over 2 years was the Dobbs decision, Supreme Court decision that overturned Roe versus Wade. It was really just kind of them going rogue and deciding that every precedent that ever came before didn't matter anymore and that they could enforce their own religious beliefs on the rest of the world, even though science itself looks you dead in the eyes and says that's not how it works. But I do want to talk about it real briefly. Now, what I want to talk about is the assault on women's rights and a woman's ability to decide what she does or doesn't do with her body. Now, I want to start this out with a dollop of hypocrisy. Generally speaking, men who are not doctors especially, but men shouldn't be telling women what they should be doing with their bodies because, well, we've got no frame of reference. So I understand that me even having an opinion on this kind of borders on hypocritical, but at the same time, my opinion is I'm not supposed to have an opinion, and neither are any of the other men out there that are writing these laws telling women what they can and can't do with their bodies. So I've said that before, and I want to say this again. There is a logical extension to this. There are two logical extensions to this, and that means the government's going to be able to tell you what you can and can't do with your body. And that goes for men too, I guess. I don't know. Why not? Why not write a law that says all men have to be sterilized at age 14 and you have to pass some sort of test to get the ability to procreate back? This Supreme Court decision kind of opens the door for that kind of bullshit shenanigans. And nobody really wants that. Nobody wants that. You want to be able to be free to live the life that you want to live. And that includes making decisions about your own personal health care. You don't want the government deciding what kind of health care you can and can't receive. You're supposed to make those decisions. Women are supposed to make those decisions with their doctors, and men are supposed to make decisions about their health with their doctors. Well, and maybe your partner gets to be involved. Maybe they don't. Really, it's up to the individual at hand. Why conservatives, I'm just going to put that in quotes because this is not conservative anymore. It's Christo-fascist bullshit. They want to put us into Gilead, which is the Handmaid's Tale, the world where the Handmaid's Tale takes place. Women are not breeding machines for our species. Women are equal partners in this endeavor. If anything, I've always felt that women should have a little bit more power than men because, let's be honest, men have been in charge for a really long time and we've done nothing but screw up. There, I've said it. We sent men to the moon. Why? What did that really get us? Let's get over it. Come on. Okay, so like build a bridge, live in the now, and understand that women are so important to everything we do, and they deserve absolute partnership rights, just like everybody else. And it's not even limited to men and women. It shouldn't be limited at all. Every soul walking this planet, every soul, at least in this country, where we don't have a theocracy, where we don't have some sort of, book of mythology telling us what we should or shouldn't do or how we should or shouldn't behave. We write laws. And those laws are the creation of the society itself. We know where they came from. We saw them being built. Sometimes they happen in the dead of night. And sometimes a panel of 9 Americans decide for the rest of us whether or not those laws are enforceable. And those 9 people, that's too small. The court needs to be a lot bigger than 9 people. That is just ludicrous. I quote the great Elie Mystal, who says, it's pretty easy to get 9 people to agree on something like where to go to dinner. But if you make that group like 30, well, to get total agreement, you're going to have to really work at something. And I think that's probably the direction we should go. As it is, there's too many totally wackadoo activist judges on the bench, which is ironically what the Republicans used to claim that the Democrats did all the time. But no, it turned out it was always about Christofascism. But I digress. This was a discussion about women's empowerment and what should women do? I honestly, I don't know. So what I do is I listen to them and I say, I got your back. I'll do whatever I can do to help. So this is me kind of saying, look, I'm a girl dad. I'm the son of a single mom. I am the brother to another single mom. And I have 3 daughters. I've been surrounded by women my entire life, and I believe in their power. I believe in their abilities. I believe in their intelligence. I believe in their souls. I've met so many women over my 50 years that have blown me away with their kindness, their openness, their honesty. I think it's women that keep us from just devolving into a world of meat-eating, fisticuff MMA fans. It's just ridiculous. Men, by and large, men suck. And we need to just admit that and say, look, I listen to the women in my life because I should. They're really smart. They really know what they need. I don't need a lot. I need to be surrounded by happy people. And if the women in my life aren't happy, I'm really going to be unhappy. And right now, the women in my life are scared that they're losing their rights. And that's not okay. So when I see polls and I see that, the Democrats are winning about 60% of women, I think, what the hell is wrong with the other 30%? What the hell is wrong with you that you think that it's a good idea to give your rights away? What world do we live in where you can't even do that simple thing, which is protect your own freedom, protect your own liberties, be the person that you want to be? Healthcare is a personal thing, and the determinations around that healthcare can be very, very difficult. The choice to have an abortion is between a woman and her medical team, maybe the people around her who are advising her, but ultimately that's her choice. And we need to respect that choice. We men and other women need to respect those choices because they're not ours to make. You don't understand that situation. You're not a part of that situation. You don't need to be a part of that situation. And the government sure as fuck doesn't need to be a part of that situation. So they should just stay the fuck in their lane. And remember, you can't write laws that only affect specific people, specific types of people. That's not, including women, including people who are non-binary. We need to be honest about what does equality really mean, and what does freedom really mean, what does liberty really mean. Liberty is about being able to live the life that you're supposed to live, the life that you've chosen for yourself. And as long as you're not hurting anyone else, you should be allowed to do that. No matter how you identify, who you love, what gods you worship, what you do in the privacy of your own bedroom, how you determine your own health outcomes, that's up to you. That should be up to you. That's what freedom is. That's what real liberty is. When we look at what the conservatives of this country are doing, they're really trying to take away that freedom and that liberty. And they used to be the party that was all about freedom and liberty. But they're not anymore. Guns in this country have more rights than mothers or would-be mothers. And that, well, that's just fucking sick. So I urge you to get yourself registered to vote wherever you are. The process is usually extremely easy. But if you do it now, we have about 70-ish days before Election Day. You should be able to get registered and maybe even vote early, vote by mail. I vote by mail in the state of California because it's awesome, it's easy, it's quick. I love it. I get notifications that my ballot has been received and that my ballot has been counted, and that they basically take care of me every step of the way. California is great about that. I know that there are lots of other states. Oregon does all vote by mail. So get out there and get your registration in, get your vote done. And remember to vote for the people who best encapsulate what you want for the future. And after you vote, you hold them accountable for it and maybe even push them in directions that you need them to go. That's how it works. You got to call your senators and congresspeople. You got to call your state assemblymen and women, I guess state assembly persons, and make sure that they're doing what they promised they would do and that they're doing what's best for you and your family and your family's future. Remember, the vote for today is not for today. It's for the future. With that said, thank you for being with me on this journey. As always, Trent Takes On is free to you. It's expensive to me. So if you do want to sponsor this show, you probably should have your head examined. Love you all. Please be good humans. It's the very least we can do. And I'll talk to you again very soon. Peace, love, Bobby Sherman. I'm out. Mic drop. I don't know. Do you say mic drop? Do you just drop the mic? Anyway, here you go. Try not to touch that. Welcome back to... Whoa, son of a butthole.